Okay, we did our gingerbread men with the cinnamon and applesauce, and I told you I was going to be using another kind of recipe for them. And what we're going to do is the flour and salt, making salt dough. So get your measuring cup, your bowl, rolling pin, and something to roll on. And let me show you what I did here. I cut out 2 gingerbread out of a cereal box. I want to make one really big so it's exaggerated, but the other one I made this size. And it's just a little bit, I don't know, it's kind of wider because I just want big, and you'll see where I'm putting these. But anyway, you can just use a regular cookie cutter if you want, but I just wanted it a different size, and I couldn't find the size that I liked, so I made one. And I'll show you how I'm going to do that. So we're going to measure out 2 cups of flour, and I buy the cheap flour. Okay, so there's your 2 cups of flour, your 1 cup of salt, and then 1 cup, and I add the salt, and I add the water. About half and half. I don't put all the water in it at the first. This is such an easy recipe, and you can make so many things out of it. You can cut out, well, actually, you know what? I'll be using these for one of my faux desserts as well. This dough recipe, salt dough recipe. Because it's so inexpensive, and yet it is so versatile as far as faux food. Like, remember, I don't know if you saw when I did the Easter cookies, frosted them with spackle. They looked so realistic. This is when you really got to get your hands in there and just knead it, because you want to get all of that salt incorporated to the flour. Okay, so I got my dough done, okay? And I floured my cutting board, just like you would if you were making a pie. Now I'm going to roll it out. Now, the thickness that I'm going to roll it out, I don't want it too thick, but I don't want it really, really thin. What I'm going to do to cut this out, I'm just going to kind of stick that into the flour a little bit, not pressing down very hard, but, and then I'm going to get a knife. For you that don't have a cookie cutter, you could do this and just do what I'm doing on the cinnamon and applesauce as well. And the reason, like I say, that I'm doing this the way I am with this salt dough is I don't have the size gingerbread that I wanted. And this is so thin, it'll probably only take, I'm going to try to bake it for like 30 minutes. And I used more of the slick side of the cereal instead of the rougher. I think this would stick more, where this has that, you know how it has that surface that's kind of smooth, that came off easy. So what I'm going to do now to the dough, and I'll roll it and make another one. I want to make at least 3 or 4 this size. Okay, and I just put it on this baking sheet, okay? So that's where this one's going to go. And then, like I said, I'm going to bake this probably, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll out the rest of these, and then before I bake them, I'll come back. Okay, once this is painted the color of gingerbread, you're not going to know the difference, that this is not gingerbread or the applesauce or whatever the case is. And it's a good size. Let me show you the difference. Okay, here's my cookie cutter I did the cinnamon out of. Do you see the difference there? So when this gets done, and I'm going to put this in at, I decided I'm going to put it in at 325, and I'm going to put it in for about a half hour to 40 minutes, and then I'll be back. Okay, here we are with our salt dough gingerbread. Look at him. Now, these are puffy, and to be honest with you, I like it. There's something about these that I really like. Okay, here's this big guy. I probably wouldn't do this big again, but for where I'm going to put him, he'll be fine, and you'll see that in my home tour for Christmas. So don't forget that, by the way. That's December 1st, and I have a lot of really cool, very creative, and I'm sure a lot of YouTubers that you guys follow. So here's the smaller ones. So now all we have to do is paint them, and I'm going to paint them the same way I did our plaster of Paris gingerbread. Do you see what I'm saying now when I told you I was going to do my kitchen and gingerbread? All different kinds. All different kinds. Okay, now I don't know, to be perfectly honest, how these are going to fare after the holiday, meaning even if these get sprayed or I put on my sealer, I don't know that they wouldn't get bugs in them. I'm just not sure about that. But I don't really care because it's so inexpensive, you can just make new ones if you want them next year. So that's not a big deal to me. But do keep that in mind if you don't want the hassle of having to make them again and the thought of maybe the bugs getting in them. Because I really don't know, because this is the first year I've ever done it this way, or made them, I should say, with salt dough. I don't know. I don't know. We're just going to have to see, because I'm doing another Christmas, oh shoot, that's wrong. I'm doing another Christmas DIY with salt dough pretty soon. So let's just start painting. The paint goes on really nice on these, very smooth. And it doesn't drink it up like in our other video with the plaster of Paris. As you can see, just by me painting with one squirt of that paint out of the bottle, it's almost painting this whole gingerbread man without having to go in for another. I'm going to hold it now so I can... I really do like this puffiness. Makes it look like a real little cookie here. And where the knife cut it looks cute too. Kind of ridgy. One squirt almost did all of him except for, as you can see, just the edges, and that's no big deal. After this dries, I will, when I do the other side, I'll just do the sides here. You guys are having a good day. I hope you've enjoyed this series that I've been doing on these gingerbread. And again, that is raw sienna, if you like the color. Got it at Hobby Lobby. So you can see that you can do gingerbread in your kitchen very inexpensive, and just get some green picks, get some red gingham. I mean, honestly, you could have an adorable kitchen and not have to spend very much at all. And personally, in a gingerbread kitchen, I think the more makes it look even cuter. And with these types that I've shown you, you're not spending much money, and it's very affordable and easy to do, so you can get that look. You could make a couple signs or buy a couple signs if you want, since you've saved so much money by making your gingerbread. And I think it would be a far cry that you would find these different sizes already to buy, and I think that you would spend a lot more money, especially the bigger they are. And especially for my Farmhouse and Primitive lovers, these really fit the bill. These would look adorable in a Primitive Christmas kitchen or farmhouse. Just put your brush in water. If you start to run out and you're almost done and you don't want to go into your bottle of paint, just add a little bit of water like I did right here and you're fine. So I'm going to do the other side, okay? And I'm going to paint the big one just like I did these two, and then I'll be back. Okay, I wanted to show you this real quick. I wanted to see what the espresso would look like, and it was too dark for me, okay? So what I did is I took some water and I took a paper towel and I started wiping it off, and I love it. It makes it look really old, like this is just a very, very old. I don't know that you can tell on camera, but I am loving it because it's showing all the creases of the flour, which is making it look like it's a very old, something you would find in an antique store. I love when these things happen, when they happen for the good. Of course, I don't like it if it's something where I go, ah, crud, what did I do? This one I really, really like because it looks very vintage, like you had gone, like I said, into an antique store and found this. So I just wanted to show that to you. So I'll come back once I'm done and how I'm going to finish it off. Okay, and I just added some lace to this burgundy and cream gingham for this guy. Because I still want him being really primitive because he honestly almost looks like leather. I'm not joking. This thing looks like he's been around since 1892. This was a wonderful mistake. Anyway, you'll see where I have this one also in my decor. So guys, I think we are headed out of our gingerbread series onto something else that will be magical. So until we get together again, remember, the world's a better place because you're in it. Don't ever, ever forget this. Bye. Okay, to say that I'm a little bit happy on how the salt dough gingerbread turned out would be an understatement. Oh my gosh, you guys. First of all, I can't believe how cute these turned out, if I do say so myself. What I'm doing is I'm taking some fabric and now I'm putting bows on these, and I'm layering the bows. I tied this one around, and this is with that fabric. So I went off a little bit from just the gingham that I was going to use, although the gingham is in there, and I am layering it with this, but I did want this print. So so you're not using up so much of your ribbon. I just tied a bow instead of tying it around the neck and all, because you're using more yardage when you do that, okay? Gotta love the glue strings. Doggone it. Oh, they drive me nuts. You know what? I wonder if it's cheap glue that makes it string more. Does anybody know? If you do, let me know, please. Anyway, look. And that is from our salt dough that we did. Again, I don't know how this is going to fare. I don't know if by putting the acrylic sealer and paint will, you know, kind of be a deterrent for the bugs. I have no clue. We'll find out. But when you do put these away for the season, once Christmas is over, I would wrap them in some tissue paper and put them in a place where they're not going to get cracked, because they are going to be very fragile. I really do think that. Well, for that matter, even the applesauce and cinnamon ones are. So here's one. And let's glue this together. I made them all different. And I did add a little bit of lace to this. To me, this looks Farmhouse. And I put the ticking, the red ticking here. And then I'm going to use a little bit of this, which I'm using. Which way do I want this? I'm using this in some more stuff that I'm doing DIYs with, and you'll see that. So this is going to run through the decor in my kitchen. Don't press too hard, you don't want to crack the neck. And when you're tying the bow around the neck, be careful of that too. Keep in mind that these are fragile and could crack. So kind of be gingerly when you do it. Okay, so here's the other one. So let's look at these together. These are going to be in my kitchen. And here is our little cardboard, bless his heart, or her heart. So what I did is I just had a piece of that material left. Let me take this white part off. And just tied it around the neck. And then I added a little bit more for the bow. And you can embellish this any way you want. You can put the white, you know how they have the white on them? And I might do it with one of them when I start doing my faux desserts for Christmas. And if I do, of course, you'll see that. But here's this one, how adorable. And then I'm just going to take my leftover lace. And this is going to be tricky because you don't want to burn your fingers, but I just want to get that to adhere to itself. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go get a piece of jute. I'll be right back. As I was going over to get my jute, my bleached jute, I saw this and I thought, you know what, I'm going to do this instead. Look. It's lace, and it'll go with this. Although it's a different color, I don't care. But look at how cute that is, you guys, for a piece of cardboard. All right, so let's look at these again now, all together. And I'll take pictures like I always do. What do you think? You guys, this was a fun DIY. And I guarantee you, you have everything in your house right now to make a boatload. A gaggle. What other words can I say? A lot of these for your kitchen. And it's going to cost you only for your flour, your paint. Make your own like I did. Your own pattern if you want them bigger. If you have a cookie cutter, then just use the cookie cutter. When you roll out the dough, just put that cookie cutter in there. But look, these all will be in my kitchen for my home tour, so you'll see where I put these. Guys, this has been a blast. As always, I love you all. Until we get together again, remember the world's a better place because you're in it. Don't ever, ever forget that. Talk to you soon. Bye.